we're back.
Top of the morning to everybody. How's everybody at? How's it at? Where's they at? What's they at? What's going on?
Wow. Actually, you know something? Besides you being a little still under the weather
Yeah.
because you're in the freezing cold of Canada. And
Yeah.
we're here in northern Arizona, which is cold, but it's not as bad as up there, I guess. But what was the topic we were going to talk today? I actually was thinking about, we were talking about birthdays and this kind of stuff, some celebrations of birthday. We've been talking about some holidays and stuff, but what about some basic celebrations like my birthday? Because today's my birthday. Ooh. And how
Ooh.
is a birthday for a wise old bastard?
Okay, we can do that. We can do that.
Yeah.
Well, let's start with a more basic one. I'm getting a little older these days, and I'm
Yep.
sicker than shit. And the fact that I woke up alive today was my first celebration of the day.
There you go.
And then after
Every
a while, I
day's a
stopped
birthday.
celebrating. I thought it wouldn't have been so bad if it didn't wake up. But I guess I'm okay. I'm awake now. So fuck it. But so, Kevin, you're what now? 146?
Yeah, pretty close. Somewhere about there.
Pretty close.
Give or
So
take
what's
100
on the
years.
agenda today, man? What are you doing?
Well, besides talking bullshitting with you, I don't know, probably actually today is a day I'll probably end up go buy some pieces of meat to throw on the grill. But actually today I got a notification that I'm going to go hunting or trapping some moles. Today's a trapping day. So I got moles in the front yard. You know, I got a small front yard, right? Not a very big one. And some freaking moles digging up the whole damn thing. So it's been doing that for about 3 weeks now. And he's doing a good job. It might be a whole family of them, I don't know, but it's time to get rid of them. I tried to chase them out. That didn't work with some actually it's a spray thing that was basically rotten eggs. It was pretty organic. I didn't know that. It stunk like shit, but they said it repels them. It's like, I don't think so. It didn't go too far. It just went a different part of the yard. So, I don't see it
thought it
really
was
working
tasty.
that well. So I have to get out the mole traps and go trapping today. Or tomorrow anyway.
Old timey. So old guys on their birthdays do old timey stuff. Well, I'm going trapping. Gonna check the trap line before dinner. What's for dinner tonight? Hang on, sweetheart. I'm gonna go check the trap line. Let me see what we got.
Yeah, exactly. Used to do that when I was a kid. I think I actually tried to do that a bit. We trapped bobcats before when we were in college, but that was for research. That was interesting. But these things
that was
are
for
just
barbecue. You said what?
Huh? Bobcats.
Yeah, you're barbecuing bobcats? How's that taste?
No. They're not too tasty. And I don't want to barbecue a mole, although probably in Southeast Asia, you might try it. They're pretty small.
On a stick. A little bit of cumin on there, some saffron, some lemongrass.
No, thank you. But
it's actually it's kind of a low-key celebration then, I guess. Low-key birthday. Yeah. I remember, for me, birthdays, when I was a little kid, I guess they were probably like any little kid. I probably thought they were exciting and jumping up and down and got a cake and presents and stuff like that. I don't know. But as I got older, birthdays for me have never been that interesting of a day. I mean, it's like a Christmas or any other festival is like everybody around you is celebrating is a big thing. But your birthday is like you. So, yeah. The last big birthday celebration I remember was when I was 45 years old. I had a big bash that I threw at the Sphinx there, the Disneyland Hotel in Sunway Lagoon.
Yeah. Yep. I don't remember if I was there. I don't know.
I think you probably were
there
at the time.
We were there a few times with some business associates of yours. I remember doing that. And I'm pretty sure that was the Sunway that we were there.
Yeah, there was that Italian restaurant with the singing waiters and stuff in it there. That was So I mean that was like a big bash. And then after that, like 46 is like, man. I thought maybe when I'm 50 I'll do something. When I'm 50, it's like, man. Yeah. 60 is a big one. I'll do something special on 60. It's like, man.
Yeah, actually, good point.
Part of the problem is actually it's a good news first world problem for me anyway.
Yeah.
Because I'm not a super rich guy. That's for clear.
Yeah.
But I have basically everything. I have everything I need, and I
Yeah.
have pretty much everything I want. I mean,
Yeah.
and if I really want something to like, I was looking like I was going to replace this notebook computer that I'm using for the
Yeah.
podcast here, but
Yeah.
it's like, but this one's working just fine. There's no
Yeah.
reason to upgrade it. It's not like lagging. It's not giving me any issues of any sort. But if I wanted to, I could scrape the cash together and go buy one. So
Yeah.
it's like birthdays. I don't need to wait for a birthday day to
Yeah.
buy something or get something. So
Yeah. You do that with your kids and stuff, but for ourselves, for us wise old bastards, I mean, come on, man. It's another day that we're happy to be alive. More than anyway,
yeah,
celebrating life, right? Every day, it's like, well, yeah, because if you're not, the other option's not very good, you know.
yeah.
So, so anyway, the idea of enjoying life is key, and one of the things I'm doing is enjoying it with a beer. We have no sponsor yet, and this is for Beer Hunters International, Kona. It's from Kona Brewing Company in Hawaii. Kona Big Wave. It's very nice beer.
Ooh, you found some.
Celebrate.
Ooh.
Yeah. It was on sale too. $5 for a 6-pack. It's pretty damn cheap. So
On sale.
that's good.
Here. Check this out.
Mm.
Here's like this is going to make your hair fall out news if it's true.
It's very good.
If it's true.
Yes.
I saw on CBC, the Canadian news thing, a little the newsletter thing I get.
Yeah.
My England's broken. Too old now. I guess it's a newsletter. Yeah, daily newsletter.
Okay.
And so they're talking about because the cost of living is high, blah, 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 blah. We have in Canada a federal sales tax, a GST, and provincial sales tax in most provinces, right?
Okay. 3, right?
So the federal government is saying, oh, okay, for the next 2 months from now till Christmas, they're going to suspend the GST on a number of products that are important for daily stuff. So they talked about some like groceries and I don't know if they said medicine. I don't know if we pay tax on medicine.
Beer?
I don't know, and on clothes or something, baby clothes. And they said beer and wine.
Oh,
beer and
wow.
wine. I'm like,
what about whiskey?
What?
No whiskey?
I don't know about that yet. I gotta find out more.
Canada makes whiskey. That should be on there. If it's beer and wine, it should include whiskey. Medicinal purposes.
Maybe it's because we have here in beer and wine you can buy in supermarkets, but hard liquor you can't.
Yeah, that's true.
So maybe that's why they have it. Or I don't know. I don't even know if it's true or not. But then the federal government are saying we're doing this, and now we're laying down a challenge to all the provinces. You guys should also, for the next 2 months, take your provincial sales tax off of this range of product. Make everybody have a happy Christmas. I don't know about happy Christmas and hungover New Year's, but I can see coming.
True.
So I don't know if it's true. I don't know if it's going to happen, but there you go. So the prices might go from eye-watering just down to eye.
Not so bad, huh? But yeah, what's your tax rate up there? I mean, actually, we just did a thing on flights and taxes, and I just finished posting it up today, and already have comments about property tax, and they're correcting us, saying, "No, it is not federal." And yeah, we never said it's federal. It's local, basically a local property tax. But we were saying that property tax sucks, that it really should be more a service tax because they provide services and they should not tax on actual privately owned property. That it's not really correct. They should collect the service tax. That's all. But we got some comments a little bit. It's okay. At least somebody's commenting. That's good. Even I don't give a shit. But keep it comical. Keep it funny.
Was it a funny comment or just no? You're just stupid.
Yeah. Oh, we just stupid. So actually, we listened. Probably only listened halfway through or something. Didn't understand what the hell we were talking about, which is probably true.
Here we've got I also run a small business here too, right? So it's a little complicated. The way it works is we have the GST, which is the Goods and Services Tax, which is a federal tax
goods and services.
It's basically on I think it's on everything.
Yeah, I don't know, pretty much everything.
And the way
everything
that works
can be a service or a good, pretty much.
Yeah. So it's So let's take a retail store as an example. Let's say I buy something, I buy $100 worth of stuff. I pay 5% to whoever I buy it from, who then pays it to the government, right? Yeah. So I've now paid 5%. Now, because I'm a sleazy bastard, I take my $100 and I put it up to $500. And then I try and sell it off. And then I charge whoever buys from me the 5%.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I got to give that to the government, but because I've already given some to the government, I take the money I already paid for the tax last time to deduct from how much I took from that guy, and then I pay that much to the government, which means I paid the tax, I collect the tax, I pay the tax, and I got to spend a lot of time, money, and energy to process the tax and calculate the tax, and then send and give the tax. Yeah. So we exist just for that. Then we have a provincial sales tax. Some provinces don't. Alberta, I think, still does not. But here in British Columbia, it's 7%. So we end up with a total of 12% on most stuff.
Wow, that's high. That's getting up there. Yeah, I think out here
in Ontario, it's 13. Out on our east coast, I think it's as high as a total of 15 in some areas. Which for me, if that's what you're doing, if you're taxing all of that, that's fine. But just that, right? I mean, there's no way. I mean, there are ways to escape it, but the ways to escape it are schmingy doing cash deals or whatever shit, right?
Yeah, of course.
The whole thing about tax is not to not pay the tax you're supposed to. It's to not have to pay the tax. That's the difference. If you got to pay the tax, you got to pay the tax, but you shouldn't have to pay some taxes. So the government needs money to run. There's no question. So you need it to come from somewhere. And I think if it's a sales tax like that, or a goods and service tax, or VAT, value-added tax, they call it in some countries, fair enough. Okay, there's some money there. That's that. Yeah. But then when I think it's not even always the total amount, although the total amount can hurt, but it doesn't always hurt. It's just like, it feels like you're getting nickeled and dimed to death. It's like you got to pay this tax plus that tax. And if we're doing booze, there's a separate tax. And if you're doing gas, there's a different tax. Yeah. But it's more tax, except that it's less, except for those times when it's more. And then you're like,
true. The world of taxation.
Just some days you feel like saying, Mr. Government, can you just please give me my allowance? Like, you took it all. Give me how much of my allowance this month?
Exactly.
Okay.
Sounds a bit communistic.
Yeah, I mean, it's not really quite that bad, but it where it does hit you up is, like I said, on those sales taxes. Yeah, I get it. I don't have a huge issue with it. The property taxes, like we talked about last time, are a little more opaque. So yes, once a year you get your property tax assessment, comes in the mail. It tells you how much you're going to have to pay, and you pay. Yeah. If you have a mortgage, you're paying it every month through your mortgage provider. They kind of tack it on to the whole bill and send the money to the government. Or I guess if you own your place outright, you just once a year have to pony up a big ass chunk of money. It's just like that. Once a year you get this envelope. Oh, hey, good news. Your property's gone up by this much in value. You're such a rich person now. And you go, oh shit, what's going to happen now? Wait for the next envelope.
Exactly.
How much is my tax going to be now?
Exactly.
And there it has the breakdown. It's this percent for school. This is for this. This is for that. This is for blah, 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 blah,
Not
blah,
here.
blah, 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 blah.
Here, it just give us that money. Here's your tax. Pay it. You got so many days to pay, and that's it. I was like, holy shit. Yeah. They don't tell you what it's for.
No, oh shit. Don't even break it.
Hell no.
Well, here we live in the greater Vancouver area. So I live in a suburb, but everyone still calls it Vancouver, right? Yeah, blah, blah, blah. So, but when we get our property tax like that, and it says, okay, here's how much your property tax is going to be. They know it's going to make you unhappy. So the first thing they do, they don't tell you how much the tax is yet, right? First thing they do is tell you, here's what we did last year with the tax money. Look at all these great improvements we did. There's new bridges, these new roads, all this stuff. You're like, okay. And then they say, oh, and look how much these other towns around us are paying in tax. They're paying this much, this much. Oh, and look how much they increased it. And we go, okay, now I'm getting really scared. It's like, what? Hang on.
They got to keep up with the neighbors.
Yeah. Do you want them to have prettier roads than you? Like, yeah, sure.
So we don't care.
Yeah, well,
Oh man, it is really it is bad because actually the key point and my point about this whole damn thing, they tell you, oh, we're going to spend it for this and that in schools and whatever. But what is the actual budget for the school? What is the actual budget for the police divided by the population? All right, or divided by the people that are actually living within that area, whether you're a renter or so if you're a renter, you're not paying property tax, right? So, but you're
well,
using
you
police
are
and all
though.
those other services, right? No, I mean it's
Well,
the owner of the property is paying the property tax, but as a renter, that's you don't
yeah, but
pay.
they added into the amount they
Added
charge for
into
rent.
the thing, yeah, yeah.
And
But yeah,
here,
it's
I don't
part
know
of the
about
rent.
what it's like down in the States, but here we have for your residential rent, it's just, okay, here's the rent
Mm,
and it includes all that stuff. We're
yeah,
not telling you how much is included, just here's your rent.
mm,
You pay it or you fuck off. There's 80 guys in line trying to get
yeah,
in anyway.
of course for that, yeah, of course,
But for the commercial property, you
yeah,
have, here's your rent. Okay.
mm,
Here's your common property, common area, maintenance
mm,
fees, whatever they call it in different areas, right? Your
yeah,
strata fee, whatever. Here's your fees. Okay. Oh, and here's the property tax. So
yeah.
it's like they're not even hiding. So yeah, fuck you, you're paying it. I can jam it in there, but fuck you, you're paying it anyway. So here, just shut up and pay it. This guy,
Yeah, I don't know. But back on taxes again, huh? But I mean, taxes are evil. We mentioned that, and it's actually trending on YouTube, our YouTube channel. Taxes are evil. That's true, but at the same time, are they necessary evil? Kind of, but at certain limits, right? And like I said, are we overtaxed? Yeah. Okay, but by how much? Nobody really knows because they really don't know what the cost is to operate the government because like property taxes don't go to pave roads. Usually it's a different tax. It's supposed to be gas tax or whatever, the sticker that you put on your car, road tax for the car or whatever. So, these things are, especially in Asia, everything is a big sloshy bucket. Okay, we just take some out from it and put it in there, so you have no idea what the hell goes to anywhere. Mostly in many developing countries, they just, here's your taxes, pay it, and if you're
yeah. I
too
mean,
poor, you
that's
don't
one thing
bother.
my wife keeps saying. She's from Asia, right? And
Yeah,
she's over here, and every time I mumble about taxes, she basically tells me to shut up because
exactly.
it's
Mine
when you
does
look
too.
around, you can see what you can't see how much has been wasted and burnt and disappeared,
Right.
but you can see a lot for your money, whether it's
Yeah.
value for money or not. But you can see that a lot is being done with it.
Yeah.
And in a lot of places in Asia, it's like you're not really sure there's anything being done with it.
Exactly.
So
That's true.
it's like,
Very, very true. So
so in one
yeah, I
way,
get
and
the
again,
same
here
issue.
we talk about like the our taxes are high, but as long as the service level is high, then it'll be fair. Like we talked a little bit about the healthcare system in Canada, right? It's
Yeah.
taxpayer
Yeah.
funded, so it's not free healthcare. We pay for it
Yeah.
with our taxes to make your eyes water, but then you get hit by a horrible disease, you're taken care of.
Mm.
So you don't wipe out your whole family's finances or make your family decide that, you know what, hey, Kevin, you were kind of a nice dad, but hey, how many dads do I
Yeah.
need when I'm like 30, God, so you're on your own. Good luck.
Yeah,
Shit.
exactly. But
So,
okay, based on back to birthdays and getting older and wise old
yeah.
bastards, one of the comments that we got on about our health care and stuff that we did a little bit ago was that Canada. The comments were that Canada is great if you have an emergency. They'll take you in and make sure you're okay. They won't kill you. This is because they want you to pay more taxes.
Yeah. They're not
But
stupid.
elective surgery, yeah, too bad. We elect you to wait. so,
Yeah.
so anyway, and here I don't know. It's elective service surgery is probably based on how much money the doctors can make on you, and how
Well, I
urgent they
tell
can
you,
get you in
it,
to do it. And it's not
it's
because
it's
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 not.
a
It's
weird
private.
weird thing. Yeah, I mean, I had actually one guy come through my story the other day telling me that he had an industrial accident of some kind
Mm-hmm.
years ago, and he ended up, long story about, he ended up with a hip replacement. He's not that old a
Yeah.
guy; he's in his like 50s or something, right?
Okay.
But it was when he said it was, he claims he was like misdiagnosed. I'm like, I don't know, something like your hip shattered is pretty clear to diagnose, take pictures. I don't know what the story is there,
Yeah.
but he basically said that if something had happened faster, he could have had it would have been okay, but because it took so long, the problem got bigger, and now he's kind of fucked forever. They replaced it at the end of the day, but now he's limping and hurt. I'm not sure what the story was. But we just recently had some in our, not our immediate, I guess our immediate circle, a cancer diagnosis happened to somebody we know. And that person goes to Bellingham in Washington State for treatment. Canada government pays for them to go.
Wow.
And because our system here is like full overflowing, so they found somewhere, and I don't know how much that costs, because the American system is not famous for being super cheap.
No,
so
it's not. That's for damn sure.
So that's an interesting.
Most people go south of the border to get shit done. Or Asia.
Well,
Asia's
that's
great.
one thing that when I was living out in Asia, so in Canada it's starting a little bit, and I don't think it's a good thing personally. But they're starting in some provinces to try and push more of the private health care to be an option for people, right? So it used to be in Canada, like you pay your taxes, we're paying for everything, no private doctors, right? I mean, you have your personal physician and everything, but it's all paid through the government. You're not paying directly.
Yeah, so
now in some places they started to say, well, it gets overflowed the system, so we should allow private clinics to come in. And they're experimenting, doing a bit of that in Ontario. I think they're doing some of that now. And part of the problem is that the best doctors leave the system to go into private, right? And where they could charge more. And yes, that's capitalism. That's fair enough. But when enough of that happens, you end up like in Malaysia, where you have a brilliant private system. Brilliant. I mean, fuck, man. Brilliant. And but we do have a public system for people who can't afford it. But the public one is like, you get in a car crash, they drag you to the hospital, you go, no! We try to drag yourself back, no! Where's the street? Like, get back onto the street. It's like,
you're in a room with 10 people on the cot. Yeah.
You're not sharing a room, you're sharing a bed.
You're sharing
a bed. It's like,
but
it
depends
free,
on who you're sharing it with.
Well, man.
Never mind.
So, I mean, if you start go too far down that road, and then you end up with that kind of problem, and it exacerbates the problems in your public system, because everyone wants to go to the other one, and blah 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 blah. So I think pick one, and stick with it. In between
the issue is, as we're getting older, we tend to have more health problems. But luckily, I've been pretty good. Yeah, you get a flu, no big deal. You take a little bit more whiskey, and eventually you'll get over it. It's not going to kill you.
I tell you, Dr. Grace, I took your advice from the last show, and I've been drinking whiskey with honey, and I've been drinking as much as I can. I swear to God, I've been drinking as much as I can.
But question, how's your throat? Throat's good, right?
A little better.
Yeah, see?
Throat's not bad. The hangover is a killer now. It's like,
but you sleep better too, right? You sleep pretty good.
Still
it's getting up that's hard.
Yeah. Oh.
The sleep is good. Your throat's okay.
There you go.
So
but there you go.
Might be a bacterial thing. Yeah.
We're lucky in reasonably good health. It's true, but I mean, I've had in my family history. I looked through, and my mom and dad went through the system for some pretty serious stuff, and some other things have happened. And man, without that, the paid healthcare system, the family would have been like buggered. But of course, if there was no paid system, there would be an insurance system in place. So how much we would have all had to have paid over the years to have that level of care, that's a question. I don't fully understand it. I mean, I understand a bit, because in Malaysia, I had private health insurance because I was not covered under the country plan.
Yeah.
But because I was living in Malaysia, where the private healthcare was excellent and pretty low cost, my insurance costs were not bad.
Yeah, they were okay.
They were really not bad.
I mean, we don't pay that much over there. And you're right, the healthcare system, even the private, it's not that expensive. Well, that's one of the things I did learn when I was over there, is that actually there's a guide in terms of, if you break an arm, okay, is it a compound fracture, a single fracture, or something like that, a simplistic fracture, like a hairline or whatever, and there's different rates that the hospital can charge for surgeries and all this stuff. So it actually bottles It restricts the hospitals from grossly overcharging, which is the problem over here. Is they just grossly overcharge here for simplistic stuff. I mean, I'll never forget, my kid had a hairline fracture. Walked in, got virtually no treatment. Just, oh, how's your, just the vital signs. Don't even get aspirin. Got the sling and the
no X-ray
thing. Yeah, the X-ray. X-ray was $80, no big deal. In Malaysia, it's $20 for the X-ray, and here it was 80. Okay, and the not a cast, but the form thing to immobilize the arm and the elbow, and then the sling to put it on, and then just a bad. It was like about $100 just for that stuff, right? But the actual bill was over like almost $5,000. The actual bill that went to the insurance place. I saw the bill, and they wanted me to pay $900 out of it. It's like, that shit in Malaysia would cost like 200 US or something like that. And they didn't hardly do anything. They looked at an X-ray, and they sat in the emergency room for like 15 minutes, 20 minutes just to get the vitals and stuff. And then you go wait for your X-ray. You're outside of it. And then the doctor looks at it, the nurse looks at it. Okay, here's your gear. Okay, come back. And that's it. You can come back if you want. It's like, screw that. After 2 weeks, he's okay. It was just a hairline.
Here's a serious question. I don't know how much you know about it. Maybe all Americans know more about this than we do. Like, so the healthcare is so expensive.
Yeah.
Who is it that's getting rich from it? Like, are the hospitals, private hospitals, are they corporations that are making, I can't say ridiculous, making huge profits? Or are the doctors getting $500,000 for fixing arms? Or like, where's all this massive benefit going?
That is an excellent question, because I think we talked about this before, is like price gouging, when they all talk, these big corporations are price gouging. Mostly that's bullshit. But in the health industry, I think there is a lot of price gouging. But that comes from mostly, I don't know if it's private practitioners or mostly hospitals. Hospitals really charge a hell of a lot for every damn thing, right? Every little thing you do, every time the nurse comes in, gives you a jab or whatever. That's just ding, 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 wraps it up.
I'm sure they're going to say, the hospital say part of that is the liability and the legal fees, because it's pretty easy to get sued. And the hospital will say, well, okay, you came in and it looked like a broken arm, but we had to check to make sure you didn't have colon cancer just in case, because if you came in and left and got colon cancer and we didn't catch it, you'd get mad at us and sue us. Yeah. What? It's like, get your arm out of my ass. What?
Exactly.
What the fuck's going on here, man? I didn't ask
my arm hurts, not my butt. Now my butt hurts too.
My butt hurts too. What the hell's going on? It's like,
my butt didn't hurt when I came in.
Because it seems like, again,
but insurance. Insurance.
You can call it a slippery slope, and it would be, but like, you don't want to put caps on how much profit a business can make, because then it's like, okay, well then you kind of can't. But I mean, you look like at a hospital, and here in Canada anyway, there've been lots of studies done that show that probably the biggest factor in having a better health outcome is actually how many people you got working in that hospital. If you have more nurses, and if you have more even more doctors is not the main thing. There's almost enough doctors, but the doctors are busy doing shit that nurses could do, and the nurses are busy doing shit that admin people and a level below a nurse could do. So if you had just a whole bunch more people working in at those middle class job wage levels, you spend another $20 million a year per hospital on that, and the outcomes would be so much better. And that's only the hospital would save money, because of other side to still make all the same money, but people be, so
yeah,
it's easy to sit on the outside and say all these problems. I haven't studied it. I don't really know what's going on, but it's like,
to tell you the truth, I agree. I know insurance companies make a shitload of money. Insurance companies, how they make it off of medical and all this stuff, I'm not really sure in terms of how it goes through Blue Cross, Blue Shields, and all this stuff, and how
they make the money when it's like $80 X-ray and $100 worth of plastic and $900 charged to you and $5,000 charged to them. How can they still make fucking money when they just got ripped off for fucking $4,000?
Exactly. That part I don't understand because I know the bill goes in. I know what the bill was. I paid. It was about 4,500, close to five, and they wanted me to pay 900 of it. I ended up paying. I yelled at them and got paid. I had to pay 700 just because I yelled at them. I got $200 discount or something. But it's just like you didn't do anything. But you know, it's that's it to me. It was just the epitome of astronomical overcharging for something so simple. You know, um, because the X-ray showed that it was virtually nothing, just hairline crack. You just had to immobilize it for a while. Take a couple aspirin here and there, you're fine. And in a few weeks, 3 or 4 weeks, you're all healed up, ready to go. And especially because he's young. You know, it's not like old guys like us. It might take us twice as long to heal up. But
good news, Mr. Kevin, is just a hairline fracture. Bad news, you're gonna die.
Exactly. Like, no. I just drink whiskey; it'll be gone. Whiskey, tequila, whatever, it'll be gone. But we get our home remedies, and it's true. I mean, to me, this is where I feel as an older person. I think health has to be more preventative, more look at health choices in terms of eating, diets, exercise, all the things that are just natural to us, eat good, drink good, eat good, drink good, rest good, you know, uh, and then live good. I mean, the other thing is, I think most people get issues just because of overstress. I mean, if you're stressed, that's a hell of a toll on your body. And so I always try to reduce our stress. I think that's critical. They call it inflammation. So the body's always inflaming itself, and stress is going to trigger that. Everywhere it talks about anti-inflammatory and inflammation, and could inflammation contribute to cancer and all that stuff. And yeah, maybe because people don't understand. Hell, if you have so much anxiety and stuff, you can get an ulcer, right? You can get a freaking hole in your stomach, right? And their stomach and your gut is a critical attribute on your health. So, keeping good gut biomes and all that stuff, and good and bad bacteria, whatever, that imbalance in check. I think that's a big part of just general health. And the idea of the Chinese medicine, herbal medicines, and all these things, I think that's a very important part for as you get older and stuff. And,
it is, but it's also, maybe I'm just at the tail end of the generation that looks at like the supplements world that's out there today as a bunch of woo-woo, right? I mean, when you say eat naturally, like, I remember my grandparents.
Yeah.
Even my grandparents already, they like escaped countries where they were starving to death, eating bark off the trees. So that's not a very good dietary choice. Probably better than dying, but it's not really that good for you. And then
there was one guy.
I grew up, when I think about it, I grew up just when the industrial food complex had taken off. So I grew up with like Pop-Tarts and Cocoa Puffs and all that stuff. So I did not, looking back, I don't believe I ate a particularly healthy diet.
No.
Because my parents are both working, so it was convenient food, frozen Swanson dinners, whatever it was. They weren't doing anything bad. That's what what it was, science. It was magic. We could do this now. But I didn't have a particularly good diet. But I look at it now, it's like, okay, there's a lot of talk recently about European versus American foods on the ingredients list, right? They'll show the same brand and show 5 ingredients in Europe and 18 in the States.
Right, exactly.
And in Canada, we're sitting there going, those Americans. Then somebody did a little YouTube video show there's the 5 in Europe, there's a 15 in the States, and 23 in Canada. We just figured, fuck you, we're not going to let the States beat us. We threw some more chemicals and shit in there. Like, what the fuck is that? 18 wasn't enough. Okay, what else? What, you had some old stuff left on the shelf? You had to get rid of these chemicals? Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? What the hell are you doing?
It is true. I mean, you really do. You read the freaking ingredients list. Actually, just yesterday, I went to good old Sam's Wholesale, right? And I picked up a big thing of Kraft Parmesan cheese because kids love that shit. I mean, they put in the spaghetti sauce and stuff. And it's already kind of powdered and processed kind of stuff, right? So you start reading the ingredients.
37% wood.
I don't know about the wood, but yes, there was a big thing of cellulose content in it. It didn't say the percentage, but it's like, What? I put it back. It's like, look at why do I want to eat wood? I'm not a freaking termite, man. Okay, it's very tasty wood. Tastes
Tree
like
cheese.
Italian wood. Yeah, exactly. Tree cheese. I don't give a shit if Kraft gives us shit. Get the damn cellulose out. It probably just helps it to stay powdery, not stick together or some shit. But and what kind of cellulose? I mean, I can cut that out of a tree and get a whole shitload of tree cellulose. I mean, come on. So I decided from now on, we just stick with the block and we'll grade the damn thing and that's it. Throw it in there, you know? Bullshit on this. Why pay extra for wood in my food?
Well, I guess the main reason is wood is cheaper than cheese. Because you can get like a 10-pound can of that stuff for like $1.80. And you can get about this much real Parmesan cheese for $1.80. So
yeah, well, it's not that bad, but yes, it's. I understand there's, but how much? I mean, we can go to a sawmill and get them to grind up a batch of cellulose for us.
Matter of fact, we just sometime out in Malaysia, the stuff that's not covered, it gets wet and it gets a little moldy and it is kind of cheesy smelling. So we can just scoop that into a bag and sell it.
I've worked in those mills. No. I don't want it grated in my cheese. No, sorry, or in my spaghetti. You know, it makes it extra crunchy. Oh, man. But that is just a simple example of what to watch out for, and you don't know exactly because most of the stuff that one I could read cellulose, I don't know, but all the scientific names of all the ingredients, I mean, they're very abstract. I have no idea what those 10 ingredients are besides the artificial food colors and all that stuff. You just don't know the names of it.
When you read that, doesn't that scare you even more? It's like, here's the example, blah, 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 and the blah, 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 is a little. And artificial colors and flavors. So it's even too scary. They wouldn't even write what that part was. It's like, what the hell, man? What's in there?
You don't know. Yeah, exactly. So.
But it can be sometimes it kind of flips around a little bit too. Like when you talk about those scary names, right? So I was, I don't know where it was, in one of the fancy soap and fragrance places they got in the malls, like I don't even know the names of them, but so I was shopping a couple months ago looking for something. I pick up one of these things, and this is a place that says everything is like all natural, blah 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 blah, right? And it's got the same
Bed and Body or some shit, Bed Bath.
You can't read what the fucking things are there. I'm like, what the hell is that?
Yeah,
right. And then you read a little further, and then it's like, oh, okay, so blah 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 blah, and then in brackets, oh, that's like extract of wormwood or whatever it is. But that was like the Latin chemical name for it. So
yeah, exactly.
Well, why just give me the words I can understand part of it. The other one, don't even tell me that. Like, now I don't believe that this is natural anymore. It's like, this is scary.
Exactly. Yeah, that's true.
But it's I guess it's true. Yeah. Chemicals, everything is a chemical, really, right? So chemicals aren't necessarily bad. It's just the bad ones are bad.
It's just when you have no clue what the hell they are. I mean, is this, cherry juice? Well, I mean, it's easy to say cherry juice, but is there a scientific name for cherry juice or something if you put in juice, right? It's red, okay? But there's artificial color. What? Oh, cherry, but it's still red. Okay? Why do
natural you need and artificial flavors and colors.
Yeah, there you go. No. So it is a good point. I mean, the longer we take all this stuff in terms of our age and our years of drinking all this shit, how does your body react to it over 10, 20, 30 years, 40 years, When we were kids, we didn't give a shit. Coca-Cola, no problem. But we didn't have very much high fructose corn syrup. We had basically sugar. Okay, natural sugar. Now I said, natural sugar is good. It's good. It's really good, but not too much. But at the same, don't use high fructose corn syrup. That's bad. Okay, well, probably is. But how much has that changed from Coca-Cola when we were a kid, like 10 years old, versus now? How much of that? I mean, was it pancake syrup? That's always fructose. It's not really maple syrup unless you go physically buy maple syrup. Now you're in Canada, you can get maple syrup. You just go out to your local tree and whack on it and stick a pipe in it and you get your syrup out of it. But
yeah,
here,
we got piped. My you can't see it here, but I got a faucet on the wall back there, just kind of
straight from the tree.
I'm just thinking back. I mean, again, I'm not really old enough to be able to say, "Well, I was your age back when I was a kid." It was blah, blah, blah. But almost, because I've always drank Coca-Cola, but I've never been like a Coca-Cola addict. I never always had like 2 or 3 a day. Just not stopping myself. Just didn't want it. Just didn't just I had it sometime. That's all. But I remember they were the small the Coke bottles. You remember the shape's still out there?
Yeah, about 8 to 10 ounces.
8 ounces or whatever. They were not huge, not super big, but it was tasty. It was a nice treat. Now you go to the supermarket, holy shit, man! I can barely. That's why I'm getting old. I can barely lift up the size of the bottle of Coke that they sell. It's like you got to hold it like this. You go to McDonald's and you want to have a large Coke. No, I'll just have a medium. Okay, so it's only like this big.
Exactly.
Might as well take a bath in this and wash before I eat. What's this about, guys? Like, what's going on?
That's true.
So I wonder, like, we have this obesity crisis or problem or whatever going on. How much of it is because of the crap in the food, and how much of it is because of the portion size, and how much of the portion size we eat at home is because that's what we're getting used to for seeing outside, and how much of that is our fault because we go to a restaurant now, go to a place, and we're so used to getting a burger and 2 pounds of fries and a gallon of Coke for $10 or something. If you go somewhere where they give you a reasonable portion, you're like, you're fucking ripping me off.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
True.
So,
true. But again, we were in Asia, right? So we've been in Asia for 20 years, 30 years, whatever. So the portions are much smaller in Asia than they are here. When I would travel back from Asia to US and I order something, holy shit, the breakfast is, I can't eat all this. I mean, I'm not used to that size of a portion. And then you go out to eat, and then I've seen people order appetizer, they order main course and a dessert, and there's like 3 people, each one have their own appetizers. Holy shit, how the hell you eat that much? I mean, no, it's like we share the meal, we share main course, and then we get 2 plates and share it because you can't finish a damn thing. Breakfast was always the same. So, I mean, our portion sizes are much smaller. So that is a big factor. If you overeat, you're just definitely going to gain weight unless you're a runner or something and run 20 miles a day or something, kilometers a day. But you do your beer walking. So you have how many beers for how many kilometers? What's your rate of beer per kilometer?
So my problem is I don't want to do the math because I know the math doesn't math properly. So if I go for like a walk, not a shuffle, not a stroll, a walk, but not a hike and not a run, right? I just good, just just moving along. And I'll go for an hour and a half. Depends on what the weather's like and what I'm feeling, blah, 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 blah. So that's probably, call it 3 kilometers to 3 miles, depending on how fast. And so it's not a marathon. It's not like a workout. It's just, catching some air. Evening constitutional, as the Brits used to call it. So when you look at that amount of exercise, I probably realistically burn maybe between 50 to 100 extra calories over sitting on a sofa and not doing anything. Exercise doesn't really burn as much as you would hope it does.
Walking, and so it depends on the heat too, and temperature, and how much you sweat.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not offsetting what I'm drinking. That's what I'm saying.
It's not.
It's not doing the full amount.
Yeah.
It's a balance. I actually
yin and yang.
So I actually on that part I cut back on that one on the walking part because I used to have 3 tall boys.
Part?
I was just drinking. I don't walk anymore.
No, it's good to walk and drink. It's fine. Drinking and walking still good. And then you get the ducks to follow you and all that shit. That's
But I used to drink like 3 tall boys. So that's like 500 ml, which is it's a 16 ounce ish. I'd take 3 of those on my walk, right? Then it was like,
wow,
I'm not burning it off. I'm just sloshing by the end. So I cut it back to like 2, mainly so that I wouldn't slosh so much. And because I walk around, I'm in the suburbs, and there are a couple of nice little parks here. Yeah. In the wintertime, it's easy. It gets piss ass dark by 5 o'clock. So I can piss behind any tree is fine. But in the summertime, you're in a park with ducks and kids, and you're standing behind a tree going for a piss at 8 o'clock, and everyone's looking. Like, it's not so easy, man. So you got to so I had to cut it back to 2 just for that.
Yeah, no. But yeah, like I said, it's good. It's good. I don't do so much walking anymore. I mean, I do in Laos, but I don't do it here in the U.S. Unless I walk the dog, take the dog once in a while. It's damn cold. I'm still acclimatizing to the temperature here. Besides, the elevation makes it harder for me because I'm usually at sea level, and this is like 7,000 feet or 2,300 meters or something like that above sea level. So it's a little harder to catch your breath sometimes when you're not used to it. But
got no air.
Takes a few weeks. Yeah, I mean, you really got to suck in air when you're walking. But it makes you tired faster. It's just the way it is up here. But it's a nice town. But damn cold, freaking molds. But yeah, I mean, for exercise, we have all that stuff up here. It's quite nice, especially during the summer. You have all the trails and every kind of place to hiking and all that. It's quite good.
Get up to Turkey Butte.
Turkey Butte, yeah, we had climbed a little bit up the fire tower and all that. And that was pretty fun. But yeah, we got to do some more of this Beer Hunters, and we're going to do it. I guess we're not going to be hitting Vegas this time, maybe, I don't know, but we definitely do Mexico coming up early January,
on
right?
The 3rd or 4th or something like that.
4th
of January,
I believe. Yeah, January 4th to 11th. So any Beer Hunters want to come out? I don't know how many subscribers we got for Beer Hunters, but we'll be down in Puerto Vallarta. That'd be fun.
And the environs.
Yeah. So, but that also helps, man. Helps your mentality, saying, hey, we're going to go out and have some fun, drink some beers, reduce our inflammation, do some walking, go some beer hunting down there. Yeah, we do a lot of walking. I don't know about the place we're staying this time. The last time was way up the damn hill. It was a trek to get up there. Oh, it was funny. But it was good, you know. You really, after a few times, you get used to it. It's like, oh, it's not too bad. You know?
It's true. Eh? The first few times we're like, oh my fucking God, I'm sleeping on the street. That's it. It's like, move over, homeless guy. Make room for me.
After we made it to Mama Leone's taco shop, sit down. It was pretty good incentive, man. That was excellent. That was good. Good trip. Yeah. Dude, we're doing it again January.
Yep.
So, but getting older kind of sucks. But at the same time, it's better than
beats the alternative.
It beats the alternative. So, but yeah, I mean, no, this just happened to be my birthday today, so I thought, well, let's bullshit about birthdays, and there's a lot about birthdays. It's not just about us and older. I mean, countries have birthdays. We have it in what? Independence Day. What about Canada? When's Canada's birthday? Do you know that?
July 1.
July 1. What year was it born?
Yes. 1868.
1868. And you guys were mostly French or half French, and then somehow ended up being under the crown. Actually, this is one thing about America. We don't learn very much about Canadian history at all. How you guys got kicked out the French and ended up under the crown. And now...
that's... Yeah. So we came to this part. They came to this part. We had Upper Canada, Lower Canada. But actually, strangely enough, Lower Canada was above Upper Canada. So that one, I don't know how to explain that one. It was because the French had one and the English had the other one there, back and forth that way. And the British just killed a bunch of French.
Yeah, they never like each other. The French and the British do not get along.
To this day, Quebec really still has a large contingent of, hey, why we Canada? No. Well,
very Frenchy.
It came to a head. The last time was in around 1980 or something was the last where they had a vote on separating from the country.
Seceding.
We got a solid win. Stay in Canada. It was like 50.1% decided to stay. Really? So there you go. We're staying. Wow. That's it. Done. or something. It was like really, it was pretty close. It was
It was
kind
that
of close.
Wow.
But it's like, oh, come on, guys, just
it's all
what are you
about
gonna do?
language more than anything. It's not really about culture. It's more about language. It seemed to be.
Yeah, well, that's what they say, but it's the language is the culture, and it's different. When you go to Quebec, it's fantastic. It's unless if you get out of the big city.
Yeah.
So if you're in Montreal, everybody can speak English better than you can.
Oh yeah.
But they won't. Right? They want you to try and struggle along in French, and then they
just like French,
blah blah blah. It's like, okay, I know you can speak English. You know how I know? Because you're my buddy. We flew here together from fucking Toronto. Like, what the fuck? I know you speak English. What the fuck? But the outside of the big cities, they have a lot of parts of the States would recognize the kind of culture. Very, very rural countryside, open, warm, big family, big gatherings. Anyone who walks by is an instant friend. Come join our celebration, kind of culture, right?
Yeah.
And you go to places where they don't speak any English, and your French is like, last French I learned was in grade 4, and it's fine. Just like you go to Laos, go to a village in Laos. And you'll walk into a village somewhere and you'll find some old guy who'll be no teeth laughing at you. You'll be laughing with him. You have no idea what each other's saying, but you're getting along just fine. Right? It's like, so it can be kind of like that.
Yeah.
But I just think like the idea of seceding, Alberta is talking about it again. It's like, come on, you're not happy with the whole thing, the whole country. Keep talking about it. Keep working your way through. You got a lot of concessions. Keep pushing for concessions, but breaking up the country into chunks. Like, what the fuck would that do? You're a landlocked little country in the middle of nowhere by yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
And then what? That. Like, how's that great for you?
Yeah, exactly.
It's not the cleverest thing.
No, but politics is never very clever, is it? It's more emotional over clever. So, we're going through a massive thing here now. So, under the conversion between Democrats to Republican, and we'll see how that plays out. So hopefully things will get better because they ain't too good right now. So, so hopefully it'll get better.
Politics. Yeah. The only good thing about politics is if you have a podcast about politics, you can make a lot of money. Other than that, there's not a single goddamn good thing about politics.
True. Yeah, politics is pain in the ass.
It should be like, let's progress the country, the town, whatever our political area is. Let's make it better somehow. If it means I don't agree with you, you don't agree with me, it can't be 100% disagree. If it is, well, I guess we just go to war. Why are we doing politics? It can't be 100%. And it's like, okay, I come in now, I've won. So enough people like what I'm saying over what you're saying. So we make some changes. But that doesn't mean I go and take a chainsaw to everything you've done or vice versa. It's like, okay. Like I used to always talk about the menu of politics. Pick from your menu. Like, okay, you know what? You guys are a bunch of dinguses, but this thing is kind of what we want to do too. So we'll just never mind that one.
Normally
this one is like, no, we changed that one. And this, we'll talk about this one because it's kind of...
Normally things are moderate. So usually both sides tend to agree a little bit on the commonalities of it. They have their own different perspectives of it. But now things are like, in America, it's so polarized. It's like, shit, that's terrible. But it reminds me, I was just watching the Orville last night, if you remember Orville.
Oh, man, yeah.
Oh, I love that show. And I was watching this one where they ended up on the Krill. The Krill is this one world planet that's got extremely religious base to it. So they're just fanatically religious, fundamentally religious anyway. So they had this election between one of the chief parliament guy and it was a girl that was hammering, saying we got to be nationalists. Everything else is bad, and the whole universe is terrible. We have to have our rights. Blah blah blah. We don't need to come under them. And of course, at the very end, the politics switched from the kind of the universal one to her one. But she was the girlfriend of the captain of the Orville, and they ended up having a baby together. He didn't even know about it. So it was actually very good. If anybody doesn't remember the Orville, go watch it. It's comedy, it's fun, it's outer space stuff, but it's good. And it also brought to me the concept of the AI. Remember we talked about that? Well, we got to do another alien stuff pretty soon anyway. We haven't done an alien one for a while. It's about time to get back to the alien roots of the issue, because
No,
that's
no, we're
always
not
the
talking
big
about
thing.
you. It's okay. Nobody knows
Yeah,
about
yeah.
you. He's not talking about you.
Next,
He's not talking about you.
next week,
Relax,
next week,
relax.
next week, next week.
Yeah, no, no.
Is he that
Yeah, next
10-foot guy
week.
that was in Miami
Yeah,
shopping?
yeah,
Ask him
yeah,
what he
no.
bought. 10-foot alien in
You can't
Miami
see
shopping
the
mall. Remember
Dolphins
him?
t-shirt he's wearing the Dolphins t-shirt, but
Oh,
it's only not even going up to you. It's going about like this high on it. It's not a good look. Not a good look.
yeah, we got to talk more about it. But the Orville was funny, and I loved the shows, and what is it? Not the Klingon. What was that robot?
Kalons.
Kalons, yeah. And that was where the Kalon took over and became AI and stuff, dominant, and trying to get the AI versus the biologicals. And then, so this whole show's
Well,
turning into
yeah,
that.
we'll talk
It's
more about
great.
this someday
We
for
got to
sure.
get
Because
on
I
that
can
one.
go for hours because I still every day. I work
Yeah.
with AI tools all day long. I still say AI is already people. Fucking stupid and lazy and insubordinate. You gotta fucking slap it to get it to do shit. So it's already people.
Okay. Now, that's a good point. Another thing I want to get back on. Okay, as AI and stuff. I mean, technically, these guys could be, unless it's like a washing machine, they could be running forever, right? It depends on how well advanced are. Instead of like a typical unit of something that breaks down every once in a while and doesn't work. For the humans, we all have a biological time frame, right? Some based on genetics, usually luck, not being too stupid and get run over by a bus or whatever, or unfortunately having some diseases or something like that. But there are some things. Remember, there's a couple of things. If you remember, James Wood did a thing called Futurescape. I used to like Futurama. I love Futurama, but this is Futurescape. And the idea was he would talk about future things, which would be robots and stuff. But one of the episodes he talked about was living forever. Would you want to live forever? And there's two things that in the human body that kind of promote that. One's called serotonin, and the other one says the chromosomes, which have telomeres, and the length of the telomeres actually shorten, and that goes to aging. So if you keep your telomeres long, you tend to not age very fast. So you have two key elements, the serotonin and the length of the telomeres in your chromosomes. Keep them from shortening. That may trigger a much longer lifespan, maybe double or triple, or maybe more. Don't know. But it's such an interesting topic. And what would happen to birthdays if you know you can live for 500 years? It's like, birthday become meaningless because you're not nearing an end point. What do you think? Would you like to live forever?
That's so many philosophical things open up with that. Like, if you know you're going to live forever, does that make you a kinder, more open person because you're going to have to deal with the people around you for a lot longer? Or does it make you more of a fuck you person because fuck you, I don't care what happens. I'm going to live 500 years. Well, does it fundamentally change that?
Yeah.
And it's like, if you're saying, if you're doing an intellectual job, you can work for 400 more years, it's fine. But if like the day that, we solved the telomeres, good news, everyone, now you're going to live an extra 400 years while you're driving the fucking garbage truck. You get this news on the radio. It's like, fuck. What? What did he just say? I got to do this 400 more years. Oh shit!
It's a good point. It's a very, very individual perspective. It's
the guy who just, boom, he just gets sentenced to life in prison, and then they announce you got to live 400 more years.
Forever. Not me. No.
No, fuck no. What? Oh, shit.
Oh man, yeah, no, it would be very, very dangerous. I mean, but it's something interesting to think about. Is like, what would be your perspective if you could live fucking forever? I mean, and the one thing he said, and it was the funniest thing, is like when they were doing the beginning of the show. I remember they were like showing a wedding. It says, "What if forever means forever?" It's like, ooh. I mean, you get married to this person forever and you're living forever. It's like not
My wife
till death do
watches
you
this
part
show
anymore.
sometime. My wife watches this show. It would be a wonderful thing.
Mine doesn't watch his show. I don't think so. But
But they
she's in the
talk.
other room we listen to. Yeah, but they talk. That's true. That's true.
So,
But yeah, no, but it's funny. It's comical. But and I think the show actually showed like the parents looked younger than the for some reason. I guess you could in his version of the television show, you could actually kind of gauge where you want to be in your life, whether you want to be more middle aged or more younger or whatever. It's like, okay, that sounds interesting. But so you could be 150 years old or 200 years old, look like you're 25. Okay. I mean, at 25, your body's good, you're running good, everything is that doesn't hurt so much, everything heals fast, it's pretty good.
yeah, but no, this gets really, really weird. So you could actually then be 150 years old and look like you were 16. So you could get in trouble a lot. I thought she was 150. What do you mean she's only 16?
Yeah, exactly.
She said she was 150. I swear to God. Like what?
That's true. So, I want a beer. I'm 160 years old. No, you're not. You're still 15. Look at you.
Oh my God! I picked that 400 more years with no beer because I picked the wrong age. Oh, wow.
No.
Oh, that opens a lot of questions. And the scientists are going, those aren't the questions we meant. What are you guys talking about? We're talking about.
We're wise old bastards, man. The bastard. Don't forget we're a bastard. So we don't give a shit. But it's just interesting. I mean, what the hell to do? Okay, if you're stuck in the same job for 400 years, especially a garbage truck. No. But you get 400 years to figure out a different job, I guess.
I guess. But yeah, the economics of it. So if, like right now, birth rates are falling in most of the world, but if they were not and don't fall enough, in about 10 years, the planet is totally full. That's it.
Yeah. But then the other thing is, would people get tired of living forever and just said, go? And this is where Futurama comes in. Actually, if you remember Futurama, there was a booth. Instead, it looks like telephone booth. It was a suicide booth, and Fry and the robot. What's the robot's guy again? Come on,
Bender.
They were in the booth together. You don't remember that episode in Futurama where they're in the suicide booth together and he's trying to put the money in and he's got a little string to pull it back. Assisted suicide booth. Do you want the painful way or non-painful or immediate or slow death? We got to pick a button. So
slow, excruciating.
Exactly. So the idea is that you would think that may actually happen, that people would just get tired of living for 300 years, 200 years, and just say, I'm tired of this, because you mentally, how would that happen? And if you are in the future, like just the Orville, where you're in 1,000 years from now, where they actually could solve these issues, how long would you live on that? You can go 100. That's actually interspace, 100,000 light years away, right? You can live that long, right? So you can actually travel these distances. Like, well, I'm not going to die, so
but
I'm
then
going to be sitting on
the other side of it,
spacecraft for 1,000 years before it reaches galaxy.
So I got good news and bad news. What's that, Doc? Hey, good news is we solved the telomere thing this morning. What's that mean? You're going to live like 500 years. Great. What was bad news? Oh, yeah, you got Alzheimer's and you're going to be all fucked up in about 2 years.
You'll forget about it.
It's like, you won't even know.
You won't even remember. What? Yeah, it's true. Yeah, that's a good point, too.
Can you imagine? Oh, my God.
One thing and not the other?
Oh, my God. Some fucking politician who's been in Parliament or in Congress or Senate or something for like 600 years. It's like, oh my God.
Oh no. We were talking Mitch McConnell
Okay,
is
we're
like
going to do
80
a
years old.
filibuster now because
No.
we want to delay. We filibuster because we want to delay this law from getting passed. So we're going to do how
For
long?
200 years.
2 days? How about 90 years?
He's still talking.
Oh, no. Tune in 90 years later in C-SPAN. He's still there. Yeah, okay. Your flight's been delayed 12 years. Oh, okay. I'll hang out at the airport.
Hang on.
The country you're going to is at war. It's okay. I'll just hang at the airport till it's over. That's fine.
Yeah, I mean that would be interesting. I mean, there's so many different possibilities in terms of what would happen to people in terms of how.
Oh, but just think of how. Oh my God.
Yeah.
As soon as they announce it, I'm going to open a fucking bakery. Yeah. Can you imagine 500 years from now how big the cakes are going to be? How expensive they'll be? 500 candles on this fucking cake. Here you go, boys. Bring it on a forklift. Like, that'll be $14,000, but you had time to save up for it, so it's fine.
Oh, shit. Yeah, that's a good point.
Inflation's running at 10% a year for 500 years. That cake is $14 zillion, please. I don't know, man.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, what would be the economy, 1,000 years from now? And you're still living it.
Living longer, yes. As long as it's living longer healthy.
Yeah.
I mean, we talked about this once before in one of these shows where I watched something on TV about the blue zones with the people where they live longer than most people, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So, and if someone is great, you see they're healthy and active up until their 90s or something, right? They're active. Then they hit 100 years and still moving around. So they're still moving around, but they're not living the way that you and I are living today, or the way we were when we were 30 or something, right?
Right.
And you see some of them like, oh, here, this guy's like 112, and it's like everyone claps.
Yeah.
But he sleeps all day. He gets up twice a day. They have to lift him up. They give him a glass of wine. He goes back to bed. I mean, if it's a good glass of wine, I guess it's worth living for. But how? Yeah. I mean, I don't wish ill of the gentleman, but I'm not entirely sure. I'm not entirely sure I would want to be a burden on everybody for an extra 10 years.
Yeah, of course. I mean, the issue of extending your life is great, but the idea is you're extending your old age, not your 20 years old. You're extending to 90 to 95 to 105 and stuff. It's like not you're still playing paddleball or racquetball or jumping and swimming too much as you get a certain level. Unless they fix the telomere stuff, then maybe that can reverse, but I don't know. But at the current system, no, you're just extending.
I'm just going to Google telomeres India free shipping.
India.
Okay.
It probably comes in a capsule.
I got some on the way.
Yeah, but
got some on the way. We'll see what happens.
Another show I was just watching was South Park with my kid. He loves South Park, and we were watching one where one of the kids' grandpa is like 102, is like, and he's in a wheelchair, and he goes to the grandson. You're gonna kill me now? Kill me now? No, Grandpa, I ain't gonna kill you. I get in trouble. Oh, come on.
Come on, kill me now.
South Park's another one, man. All our viewers out there, all our 23 viewers or whatever, watch these shows. I mean, they're hilarious. South Park, Orville, Futurama. They're just amazing television shows, and just enjoy it, man. Enjoy life. Sit down, crack up, have a good time. Because life is still, at the moment, still finite. Just hopefully, so that means better enjoy it while we're here, right? Have a beer.
If life is finite, yeah. So if life is finite, wise old bastards say you better make it fine.
There you go.
Right?
Fine. Enjoy it. Not just finite. Make it fine. That's good.
Make it fine.
Fine, Ike. Well, I think that we did enough damage today. and anyway, Alan's got to get some more medicine. I think he has to go down to the liquor store and get some more medicine.
I think so.
Running out by now. So, so better enjoy. Have a good.
So your kids are not did not make you a cake or something today?
No. They're in school and practice and stuff. So I'll just grill some meat or some shit. Grill some dead animal. My favorite thing.
Yeah, some voles or moles or
no, they're too small. I don't want appetizers. Oh. I'm not an appetizer guy. Fresh grilled mold. Oh, thanks.
All right. Well, on behalf of all of our viewers, happy birthday to you, sir.
Oh, well, thank you, and many more. Hopefully, we'll see how many we get. But yeah, we'll work. We'll live day by day. Live in the present, because that's where we're living in, and enjoy the present into the future. So
into the future.
There we go.
All right.
Back to the future.
Back to the future. We're back from the future.
Back from the future.
Going to the future. I don't know. Anyway, on a happy note, we're going away.
All right.
Bye, everybody.
See you next week. Take care.
See you all next week.
Have a good
Ciao.
one.
Bye.
Adios.